Good morning, my dear student. Welcome to my class. I hope you all are good. Let's continue our topic nutrition in plant. In previous class, we already discussed about nutrient, nutrition, different mode of nutrition, the process of photosynthesis, and the ultimate product of photosynthesis. Today, in this lesson, we will discuss about the following point. How the plant obtain carbon dioxide from environment. How the plant obtain water for photosynthesis. The site of photosynthesis, that means chloroplast. Other mode of nutrition in plant. How nutrients are replenished in soil. Let's learn about how the plant obtain carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide gas present in environment. So plant have to obtain carbon dioxide from environment. For that reason, plant have a large number of tiny pores on the surface of the leaf called stomata. The carbon dioxide gas enter through this stomata. The stomata have two parts, one part named stomatal pore and other part named guard cell. Each stomatal pore is surrounded by a pair of guard cell. The opening and closing of stomatal pore is controlled by guard cell. In this picture, you can see the chlorophyll guard cell stomata, which is the section of leaf, and the section of leaf present under the microscope. Under the microscope, you can see chlorophyll guard cell and stomata. In diagram C, you can see stomata, the part of stomata, guard cell and stomatal opening. Now, how the plant obtain water for photosynthesis? The water molecule present in the soil portion. Plant have root. The plant root help to absorb water from the soil portion through a special process called osmosis. The osmosis is a process in which water molecules are travel from higher concentration region to lower concentration region. That means the concentration of water is high in the soil portion than root portion. That's why water travel from the soil portion to root portion. After that, water move upwardly through a special type of vessel called xylem vessel. Ultimately, water reaches to the photosynthetic cell. The plant also need other raw materials such as nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium for building their body. The plant takes this material from the soil portion. Nitrogen is essential element used by the plant to make protein and other component. Now the site of photosynthesis, that means chloroplast. Chloroplast present in the leaf portion of plant. Leaf have a green pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll help to capture sunlight, which is then used to prepare food from carbon dioxide and water. That means the solar energy converted into chemical energy, and as a result food are stored in the plant. Without food, no organism can survive, and without sunlight, no food is prepared by the plant. So the sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Some other note on photosynthesis. Photosynthesis can also take place in other parts like green stem and green branches. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate that can be converted in more complex form of carbohydrate like starch. The carbohydrates are used to synthesize other components of food like protein and fat. Proteins are nitrogenous substance. Plant prepare protein with the help of nitrogen, which is obtained from the soil portion. Plant use the minerals dissolved in water to convert glucose into carbohydrate, protein and fat. The importance of photosynthesis. It provides food to all animals including human beings. It puts oxygen gas into air, which is essential for breathing and respiration in animals including human beings. In previous class, we already discussed about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Hetero means other, trophic means nourishment. That means the organism depend on the other organism for nourishment or food called heterotrophic organism. Some plants do not have their chlorophyll. That's why they cannot synthesize their own food. The plant depends on the other plant called heterotrophic plant. The heterotrophic mode of nutrition can be categorized into following type: parasitic mode of nutrition, insectivorous mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition, and last, symbiotic mode of nutrition. Let's explain different type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition in details. First, parasitic mode of nutrition. In this type of nutrition, two organisms are involved. One organism called host and other organism called parasite. The organism depend on the other organism called parasite. The ones on which parasite depend is called host. The parasite are benefited from the host. The host is harmed, and sometimes parasite may make their host completely divided of nutrition. The parasite are modify their root or other part to suck their nutrition from the host plant. The example of parasite are cuscuta, hookworm, tapeworm, leech. Parasite are two types: complete parasite and partial parasite. In complete parasite, parasites are totally depend on the host cell for their nourishment or their food. They modify their root for absorption of nutrition from the host cell. The example of complete parasite are cuscuta and Rhodophylla. Now, partial parasite. In this type of parasite, they are depend on the host cell only for minerals and water. They can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Example of this type of parasite is mistletoe plant. Insectivorous mode of nutrition. In insectivorous mode of nutrition, the insectivorous plant modify their body part for capturing small insect or small animals. After that, they can digest the animals or insect by digestive juice. The example of insectivorous plant are pitcher plants, the venous flytrap plant. The pitcher plant trap small insect inside the pitcher, and insects are digested by the digestive juice secreted in the pitcher. The insectivorous plant grow in those type of soil in which they cannot contain sufficient nitrogen minerals. The different insectivorous plants modify their body part differently. So let's learn about different modification of insectivorous plant. First, venous flytrap plant. They modify their leaf. In their leaf, strip hair-like projection are present on the edge. The leaves are divided into two parts. The middle parts act like a hinge. Whenever insects sit on the leaf, they shut tightly and trap the insect. Now, pitcher plant. They modify their leaf to a pitcher shape. The pitcher full of liquid. The mouth is sleepy. Whenever the insect sit on the mouth portion, they can sleep and fall into the pitcher. They can trap inside with the closing of the lid. In this picture, you can see the pitcher and lid portion. Sanddew plant, they have long needle-like structure called tentacle, covered with a sticky substance called mucosa. Once an insect sits on it, it gets caught in the mucus and the tentacle fold inward. Now saprotrophic mode of nutrition. First we have to understand the meaning of saprotroph and saprophytic. Sapro means dead and decay organic materials. Trop means nourishment. Saprophytic. Sapro means dead or decaying organic materials and phytic means plant. In this type of nutrition, the plant are dependent on the dead or decaying organic materials for their nourishment. The plant which is dependent on the other organism, that means dead or decay organic materials, called saprotrophs. The saprotrophs secrete digestive juice into dead and decaying materials to dissolve it and then absorb nutrition from it. The example of saprotrophs are mushroom, yeast and some bacteria. Symbiotic mode of nutrition. In this type of nutrition, two organisms are involved. The organisms involved are called symbiont. The organisms involved are mutually benefited to each other. No special structure are used for this type of nutrition. Amongst symbiont, one of the organism provide nutrient while the other provide protection or other benefit. For example, fungi live in the root of the tree. In this case, tree provide nutrient to the fungi and as a result, fungi give them water and nutrient from the soil. Now the question is how the nutrients are replenished in the soil portion. Plant continuously take nutrient from the soil in order to synthesize food. As a result, the amount of nutrient in the soil decrease. Nutrients in the soil are replenished by adding fertilizer and manure. By adding fertilizer and manure, the nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are back to the soil portion. Another way to replenish nutrient in soil by grow leguminous crop. In leguminous crop, one type of bacteria present called rhizobium. It helps to take atmosphere nitrogen and convert into soluble form. The rhizobium and leguminous plant are closely associated to each other. It is an example of symbiotic relationship. The rhizobium cannot make their food, but they can provide nitrogen to the crop. Let's discuss difference between parasitic and symbiotic relationship. In both type of relationship, two organisms are involved. In parasitic relationship, the organisms are host and parasite. In symbiotic relationship, the organism called symbiont. In parasitic mode of nutrition, parasites are benefited and hosts are harmed. In symbiotic relationship, both organisms are benefited to each other. In parasitic mode of nutrition, a special structure are needed for suck nutrition from the host plant. No structure or a special structure needed for symbiotic relationship. Some parasites may make their host completely devoid of nutrition. But in symbiotic relationship, one organism gives nutrition, other organism give shelter or protection or other nutrition to the other organism. Overall summary of this chapter. Photosynthesis. The raw material need for photosynthesis. The product of photosynthesis. Different mode of nutrition, heterotrophic and autotrophic. The type of heterotrophic nutrition: parasitic, saprotrophic, symbiotic, insectivorous. That's it from this chapter. Thank you and nice day.